I'm Jeannie Kays, Library Director at the Palm Springs Public Library. Today I'm at home. I want to show you some fun new craft that you can do at home too. This is something I'm brand new at doing this. So, but it actually is pretty easy. I'm going to show you how to do rock painting. Today, I think we're going to do this one. Look how cool that is. Isn't that neat? It's pretty simple. I'm going to show you how. And then we're going to give you a craft kit that you can take home and craft along with me. A little bit like Bob Ross. Maybe. There's some happy mistakes happening here. Okay, you're going to get in your kits a rock, because it's kind of hard to paint a rock if you don't have a rock. You are going to get a set of acrylic paints. And you will get 2 paint brushes. These are actually good brushes. I really like them. They're very good brushes. And we're going to give you a foam brush. I'll show you about a little bit how you can use that to make dotting techniques. And you're going to get some Shamrock stencils, except you have to cut them out yourself. And that's it. So, oh, and a pencil. I knew there was something else. We're gonna give you a pencil because we're gonna make polka dots with the pencil eraser. So it doesn't take a lot of supplies to do rock painting. You can do all kinds of things with the supplies you have at home. Let me show you some of the rocks. So I've got my rock set up for our activity today. This is the one that I did. And when you get done painting your rocks, you wanna maybe spray some spray on them, some clear coat to make them shiny, and also to keep the paint from washing away and hopefully not fading. This one I did. I think this is a really cool rock. It's just a stencil and a bunch of different dots. I've got this love rock that I did, and this one I used. I traced hearts. So I've got some hearts here. Figure out where the camera is. And I just traced the heart on the rock and used a paint pen. Now I have some paint pens. This is not going to be in your kit, but you might want to look at getting some paint pens. These didn't cost very much. I think they were $12 or something. These are my own personal ones. These are Artistro brand. I got them at Amazon. Michael's, Joann's, Hobby Lobby, Walmart has supplies too. So find you some paint pens. Lots of people recommend other brands. There are so many groups on Facebook. If you are curious about this, check out Pinterest, because there are a lot of great ideas on Pinterest, and join some Facebook rock painting groups. Now here in Palm Springs, we have a rock painting group called Palm Springs Rocks. So I encourage you, if you do any rocks, the fun thing about these is that you can paint them and then you just hide them in plain sight out in the public, and then have a lovely little message on the back. Let me find one with a message on it. And then you can write on the back side of your rock, and I say, keep or rehide, post on Facebook, Palm Springs Rocks, and be sure to sign it. And then the reason why I got started with this was because I was in Las Vegas and I saw a rock just sitting there, and it said, keep or rehide, and post to Montana Rocks. So that rock had come from Montana to Las Vegas. And so then I took it to Palm Springs, and I don't know where it is now, but that was a lot of fun. And it's a great way to build community and keep things going. And you don't have to have a lot of talent, because here I am, library director, doing rocks. But there are some really simple techniques. This one's just dots and some stripes, and you can make something that looks really cute. Okay, so the rock that we're going to do today, the Shamrock rock, Shamrock rock, was inspired by Cindy Prihara. And if you go check out her Pinterest page, she has some wonderful rocks. So we're gonna do this green rock right here. Okay, so let me tell you about some supplies that we have. I got some dotting tools. You don't have to have dotting tools. There are different kinds. These are metal. dotting tools. They look like nail art. If anybody's gotten a pedicure, manicure, and they use the dotting tools, it's kind of like that. What else do I have? I like to use a wide brush to paint my base coat. I think you should paint a base coat. This is what I've learned. Seriously, I've been doing this like 2 weeks. So I learned a lot from Facebook. You should paint a base coat. It makes the rocks a little bit smoother. It helps them get, cover up all those little imperfections. And you don't have to buy rocks either. You can just go find rocks. There are rocks. And don't take them from places that they shouldn't be taken from. But if you find rocks and they're cute and take them, that's fine. I've got a bunch from my yard. A lot of these rocks are from my yard. But you can buy bags of rocks. You can buy really pretty shiny ones. They might not even need a base coat. They might be so pretty the way they are that you might want to just paint on them. Okay, so back to friendship rocks. What are friendship rocks? These are rocks that you can put out in the community and share. And it's a nice way to send words of love to people. This one literally says love. And one of the fun things about this one, again, I did a tracing. I traced the heart. So again, I'm not very artistic, can't draw a straight line, but I can trace. So I took my paint pen and I traced around that one, and then I just did a bunch of polka dots, and then practice on handwriting with the paint pens. You can write on paper plate, envelope, anything. Another thing that I did was I found different dotting tools, just household items, and I learned this from YouTube. There are lots of YouTube videos out there, Facebook videos, things like that. This is a Q-tip. Q-tips are good. This one, you paint and just cover it with paint and then kind of harden it up and make it hard so that it has a uniform circle. And what I did was I made a little template. I keep looking down at the other camera. I made a template to see what they would look like and how big they would be. And as you do this, be sure to write down exactly what it is as soon as you do it, because I made a bunch of mistakes. I couldn't remember what I'd done. But Q-tip is a really good tool. The other end of the Q-tip, if you take the cotton off, look how small that is. But it makes a really nice dot, the hard side, the hard end with no cotton. You can use toothpicks. Oh, you know what a toothpick looks like. You don't have to see that. The eraser of a pencil is a great one. Don't use it as an eraser. I did that, and I'm like, not quite a circle anymore. The other end of the pencil is great for doing dots too. The end of your paintbrush, that's a good one. If you notice on my chart, chapstick, big dots. So if you wanted to do chapstick, boop. And there's a technique. Go check out some tutorials. Lydia May does a really good mandala tutorial. She has a whole page of mandala tutorials. Go look at her. She's way better at this than I am. Here's a yarn needle. This is a good tip for making little dots. It's very cute. You can also do dots and like drag and do things. And I've heard of people actually using toothpicks to write. I don't know. I'm still new at this, but I think you should do some practice. Practice with your dots, figure out what works. The funny thing is they don't work on the rocks the way they do on the paper plate either. So, I want to get some different dotting tools because mine are very round, and I think that maybe I would enjoy having a flat tool instead of the round tool, because the round ones really only touch the tip of that. Another thing that you can do is mix up paints. Acrylic paints are great. You just add white, it makes it a little bit lighter, and then you can pop on a lid and keep it for a few days, so you don't have to just throw it out and waste it. So today I did a 4-leaf clover. I took hearts, 4 hearts, because I had a bunch of hearts, and taped them together into a 4-leaf clover. And we could do a 4-leaf clover like this one. Actually, it's funny because I say we were going to do this rock and I had the wrong rock up there. The other thing is you can paint the back. I did not, but you can, and make it more uniform. Okay. All right, let's do this. Let's do a shamrock. Do I want a shamrock or a little shamrock? I think I want the little shamrock because I love the way the dots look. Okay, here we go. Take that same pencil. Don't use the eraser. Okay, so we're just gonna, and what I might do is you might see some high-speed video going because this is, you can watch me trace in fast forward, and you don't have to watch me trace in real time. Okay, so now I went ahead and traced the rock because you don't need to watch me trace a rock. So take your template, whatever you're gonna do. If you wanna do a heart, it doesn't matter. But I did a shamrock, and so I just traced around it with a pencil. I think you can see that, maybe. I also did my white rock. Maybe you can see that. I did my 4-leaf clover template for that one. You can make your own if you like, or just do the three-leaf clover. So now we're going to paint. We provided paints for you, and you're welcome to give them a try. They're great starter paints. I am using apple barrel paints. These are very inexpensive. Oh, the lighting is really bright. I'm using apple barrel. It's about 50 cents a container at Walmart. You can get it on Amazon and other craft stores. So this is just what I use. It's middle of the road. Give it a good shake. Be sure that your work surface is covered. Acrylics are water-based, but you don't want to get it on your clothes. You don't want to get it on the carpet or whatever. So be sure to lay down some paper, newspaper, or do it outside or something. One of the tips that I learned watching my little tutorials was a lot of the painters just pour paint into the cap and just paint out of the cap. And then they throw the cap back on and move along because it is 50 cents a bottle. So let's get started. We're gonna do our shamrock. Wish me luck. And have some water nearby so that you can clean your brushes. It's a good thing to do. If you mess up, it's not a big deal. Okay, I already can tell what I need to do. I might want to use the other brush because I don't really like the way that one's going on. It's a little big for my skill level. So I'm gonna get the little brush because I gotta go around these edges. Looks good. All right. Brushes in water. Dish soap works great to clean your brushes too. Okay, so we're gonna let that sit. We'll put this back on the cap. And while we're waiting for that white paint to dry, I'm going to do some polka dots with my pencil eraser. What I did was I mixed up some green. I took my regular green Shamrock color and then added some white. I've got 2 shades. You can see 2 different shades of green just by adding more white. So I've got paint here. Use my eraser that I did not erase on to do some polka dots. Now making dots, go watch a YouTube tutorial. Lydia May she's a great teacher on painting dots. So I don't know if you can see, kind of don't get too much, don't go too far up the side, but you want a little bit. And then they talk about kissing the rock. So just put it down until you see it. There you go. Just kind of kiss that rock. And if it doesn't come out right, you can always try again. Worst case scenario, which isn't really horrible, just paint over and start again. And you want to get a new new paint each time. Get a new amount of paint. Ooh, I'm a little shaky today. Refill your pencil eraser each time so that you get an even amount of paint. like I said, I'm using apple barrel. It seems to have a pretty good consistency for this. It does sometimes want to run if your rock is curved like this. It'll run off the edge. So sometimes you need to prop your rock up so that it lays flat. I'm not counting or anything. I'm just putting some dots on. See, just that little extra bit of white on that in that paint makes a difference. Nice little contrast. And then we're going to do multiple layers so that it's really interesting. So this is the part where you get to decide. You get to be creative and you get to make this your own. Okay, now wash off your eraser in your water. You can use a paper towel to wipe off the extra paint. Okay, so now our paint has dried on our green Shamrock rock for the first layer. So we're going to work on the next layer, and that is putting different colored dots on top of the other dots and outlining our Shamrock. So let me do the outlining first. So got a paint pen. I use green. Make sure it's dry. Okay, so shake it up real good. And you might give it a test on something. Make sure it's ready to roll. Okay, that looks ready to roll. Maybe. And I'm turning the rock because sometimes it's easier to just work right in front of you than to try to twist around your hand. Better just keep it in the same area. Okay, that looks cute. We are going to do the next layer of dots. So you can do, I'm going to use a Q-tip. We'll see how this works. I kind of put some paint on it and squished it, and so it's all firm and not so much. That doesn't work. How about it down here? It's all camera. I'll squished it firm and ready to do some dots. Let's do dark color. I've got this. I've got my other dotting tools. So I'm just gonna get a little bit of paint, not a lot, and just there. That's cute. And just randomly put some dots on here. Put the next layer. They don't have to be on center. They don't have to be in a pattern. You don't have to include a lot. Just some. See how that's looking? It looks really cute. And for the Q-tip, the harder you push or the more you push down, the wider your circle is. So see how I can actually just touch it lightly and make a tiny dot, a smaller dot. And I can push it hard and make it more filled in. Okay, that looks cute. Since it's a Q-tip, I'm not gonna put it in the water. I can just like pat it on my paper towel and save it for later. Okay, now let's try another one. Let's see what else I could try. Let's try the tip of my pencil and see what happens. I'm gonna use Let's try this light minty green. I just used my regular new Shamrock color and put a lot of white in it. Let's see what happens. Okay, it makes tiny dots, so we just want to do that for like accents around. And this one, since I'm not trying to be uniform, it doesn't matter. I can just dot with the same batch of paint, and the more I dot, the tinier it gets. So those are just randoms. So we're gonna fill that in and make it just look like confetti. Rinse in your water and wipe it off with a paper towel. Okay, let's try another dotting tool. I'm gonna try my metal dotting tool and see what happens. I'm gonna do white. Yeah, let's try white and see what happens. I heard since this is a perfect circle, you can hold it like a pencil. Oh yeah, that's cute. Ooh, that puts on a lot of paint though. It's gonna run. Let's see, I got too much paint on that one. Let's see if I can get that off before it runs. Okay, so I have some needles. These are not sharp. These are embroidery needles. Okay, so you can just take that and just scoop a little bit of paint out so that it doesn't have as much to run. That's looking better. And if it starts to look weird, we can always just cover it with another dot. Okay, there, that worked. Got the paint off. Okay, that one's pretty big. Let's try this other end of this and see what happens. Let's try the end of the paintbrush and see what happens. Let's color it. Yeah, that's cute. It's our base coat. Straight up and down. Go back with this dotting tool. I like it. Yeah, I like the color. Oh. Let's fill in all these dots. Whoa. Okay. Oops, one more. Let's do some more accents. Oh, that one's big. Let's do the other end. That's better. These little accent dots are fun to do while you're waiting for the larger dots to dry. Okay, let's let that one dry. Okay, how's it look? Looks good. Okay, let's do some third layers. Let's see. Yep, that's cute. Where's my white? The idea of these friendship rocks is that you hide them and it just makes people feel happy. They can, you know, re-hide them and they travel the world and it just might make someone smile. Just might make their day. You just don't know what little impact, what little effort it takes to make a big impact on someone's life. So let's spread kindness and cheer and spread these kindness rocks all over Palm Springs. Okay, that looks done. Does it need any more? I think it needs some dark. Where's my dark paint? Let's see, what can we put in here? That one needs a little bigger dot. That was my one that was kind of crazy, messed up. Just little dots, little randomness. Oop. How fun is that? Okay. So Shamrock is done. Green Shamrock is done. Okay, now, while we're waiting for that one to dry, I'll show you how to do the white rock with the green shamrock. This one's really cute. It's a slancha, which means good health. So let's do this one. I'm gonna use, I better put the lid back on my paint. Okay, I'm going to use, let's do this one really dark. I'm gonna do Holly Branch. This is the color I'm using, Holly Branch. So the fun thing about painting rocks is that you can work on multiple rocks at the same time because you need time to let layers dry. So as an example, this rock has so many layers and it had so fun, but you had to be patient and the rock and the dots on the side to make sure that you don't let them run off the edge. Okay, so this one, let's paint some Holly Branch. Pour some paint in my cap. Or if you have a paint palette, that's fine. Pour it in the palette. Just go slow. Just get a little at a time. Whatever your skill level. Mine's super beginner. You could also use a paint pen. If you had paint pens, you could use the paint pen and just color like a marker. Okay. Now this rock has dried. We're going to continue on working on it. One of the cute ways to camouflage your messy edge, especially if you don't have a paint pen, is to put dots over the edge all around. So let's see what happens when I do this size. Pretty good. Let me check this one. I think I like the original. Okay, move that out of my way. Just gonna do white dots all around. Okay, So we've got the outside lined. We're gonna let that dry. In the meantime, we can start working on the inside dots. You can do larger dots. Start with this one, see what size it does. Big dot. Back to my smaller tool. Even teeny tinier tool. You could use a yarn needle. Let's try that. Let's try a toothpick. Microscopic. We're gonna let that one dry. Okay, I got my last layer on. I'm gonna do some dots on green on top of those. Oh yeah, that's cute. That's gonna be very cute. Just try to match the size so that you don't go over the size of the initial dot. It's supposed to be a layered look. Now see, it really didn't take any special effort. I don't have a lot of artistic talent when it comes to painting, but I can do dots. Oh, this one, let me do the smaller dot. Cute as can be. Let's do some other dots. So this end now. And you don't have to double dot every single one, which I'm not going to. But I like the way it looks because then it starts to look green again because it looked all very white. Okay, now let's figure out what we're gonna do with those bigger polka dots. My dotting tool, let's see what this color does. A little different. Okay. It doesn't look as much like a shamrock as the last one, but that's okay. Just practice. Okay, so I think that one's done. There you go. I'm not going to write a greeting on this one. I'm just going to put it out there in the world. Again, use your clear coat at the end once it's dry. Okay, so now let's put it back, put the paint up. And yes, it's gonna leave a nasty ring, and you just pull that off or use it before you ever notice. I do need the white. Okay, for my next rock. Okay, I'm gonna try to recreate this rock with the cute little flowers and the dragonfly and the blue background, except this time I'm going to do the reverse. I'm going to put the dark blue at the top and the light blue at the bottom. I did that with this. I tried to do with the green and the blue. It turned out okay. I think I like the blue, just blue better. So mix up a little bit of paint on my paper plate. Whoa, messy. You can paint rocks different ways. You can put on a base coat, and that kind of helps avoid this darkness like this one's getting. Or you can just paint straight on the rock. Just gonna do it, paint straight on the rock on this one, see what happens. Now because I'm just painting, just taking paint from my plate and not from the jar, I can just mix and match these. It's not really gonna hurt anything because it's not going back in the bottle. Oh, I'm not even gonna use the green. I don't know what I was thinking. I might use it for my stems. Just do whatever you want. There are no rules. It's pretty. Okay. Now we let that rock dry. Okay, finally, let's do the cute daisy rock. I'm gonna do this one. I'm gonna need orange and white. That's it. And my green paint pen. Okay, let's use the other end. Just cover up the dot. Perfect. Let's make, you want 5 or 6? Let's make 5. Now what I've done on the last rocks is painted the orange and then the white, and then go to the next orange and the white. I probably, if you have enough space, you can do it either way. Okay, wipe off your dotting tool. Now this one you could use the Q-tip if you had that. It's probably too big to use the pencil eraser, but you could use the end of your paintbrush. Just find something at home that works for you. Okay, now I'm done with the orange, so let's put it away. This one's called Jack-o'-lantern. Okay, is my tool clean? Okay, ready. I'm gonna use the other end because I don't want it to be too big. Oh, that's perfect. I'm gonna do 6 dots per flower. Let's see if I can get it to work this way. Oops, that was a little small. Now, flowers are all different, so we'll just move along and pretend like it was supposed to be that way. And what I would recommend that you do is don't do what I just did. Just go around the circle. Just be sure to leave enough space. Don't let them touch. If they touch, oh well. Oh, that one's perfect. Take your time. Sometimes I'm not even touching the rock with the dotting tool. If I can tell, because the dots are actually smaller. But when I actually do a little baby tap, it makes the dot bigger. Are you counting to 6? 1 more. Boop. There you go, that looks cute. Okay, wipe off the tool. Okay, now we need to do the dragonfly. Okay, can you see that? Can you see the dragonfly? So it's a big dot and then smaller dots. So if I use the same dotting tool, hopefully it will make smaller dots. And then those, I just did something with a tiny tool, and then I'm gonna do a dot and then use a toothpick or something to drag it. And let's all hope it turns out okay. Okay, let's start with our biggest one. We've got a big hole right in this rock, so I'm probably gonna need to move this over and not do it right there. I'm gonna do it right here. That's a good big dot. And then let's see what happens if I go right behind it. Yep, that's perfect. How many dots do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do one more just for fun. Perfect. Okay. I need a little tool to do the antenna, actually. Boop. Oh, that's cute. And then I'm going to use the smaller end of my dotting tool to do the wings. Put the lid back on these green paints. Okay, now I'm doing the wings. So I'm going to do a dot, give myself some space to go right there. And right there. Stay still. side. And then use my smaller tool to drag it. That one turned out great. Cute. Okay. Now I need to take my green paint pen and draw grass. No, I should let that dry first. Okay, I think we're ready to use the paint pen and finish this cute little daisy rock. So I've got my paint pen ready to go. Okay, I'm just gonna copy this. Try to do this. And just do random stems. They don't even have to be stems. They can be just grass. That's cute. I like how the grass just goes up behind the flowers. You're not really sure if it's the stem or if it's just a grass blade. That looks good. And then once you put some clear coat on it, it's gonna look nice and shiny. Now what I would do is spray it with some clear coat. So let it dry. You can let it dry for a couple of days if you want. It doesn't need to sit for a couple of days, but I usually just let it sit. And then I spray some clear coat on it. And there are lots of people who have lots of great advice on the internet how to do that, how to protect your rocks. You could put clear coat. They have other stuff too. It's just amazing. Resin, you could put resin on it. Some people have mixed results with Mod Podge, but I think they put Mod Podge on as a base and then paint and then seal it. So be sure to put some sort of sealer on it because these are water-based, and even if I took a Q-tip with water, it would like wash the the paint away. So protect it. Spray a light coating first. It says to let it sit a minute between coats, so just a very light coating. And that way, that kind of sets the initial base coat of the clear coat, and then you can just take coats, make several layers of clear coat on there and make it all shiny. Like this one is shiny. I don't know if you can see the shine. Oh, you can see a little bit of the reflection. See how shiny that is? Now the back on this one, I haven't done my my message. I think I'm gonna paint on the back of that one. But what I like to do is write a little greeting. I haven't hit any rocks yet, just getting started. So I'm gonna write a little greeting, and protect that side too. So put some clear coat on the back too. Okay. Did you have fun? I did. This is a really relaxing hobby. It's kind of messy. Well, a little bit messy, but just be careful. Don't make a mess. It's such nice weather outside. You could do this outside, listening to the birds. Again, you don't need a lot of tools. I've got homemade tools, the pencil, that one's fun. Both ends of the pencil. Don't use it as an eraser or it will be a lopsided, weird dotting tool. Just start with simple colors. The Shamrock I did, green and white. That was it, 2 colors, 50 cents each, $1. And the rocks, you could find rocks anywhere, kind of. This one's super cute, I think. I got the brush. You'll get the brush in your kit. So again, in our craft along kits for the month of March, you are going to get a rock, yay, a pencil. It's actually sharpened. The acrylic paint set, which comes with, I think, 12 colors, and some paint brushes. And my neighbor, hi Sherry. And some Shamrock stencils. I think if I can find the hearts, I'll throw the hearts in there too. And even the foam brush. I didn't show you how to use the foam brush, but seriously, just use it as a dotting tool. These make giant polka dots. Let's see, what size did they make? There's the picture right there. The largest one's chapstick. Again, just use what you have around the house. Some chapstick, some Q-tips, and you'll have a lot of fun. Toothpicks. Okay, so we've got our Shamrock that we did today. This is my original example. Here's the one that I finished. I think it's dry. Almost dry. I wouldn't do anything crazy with it right now because it's still a little tacky, but look how fun. These are not the same size rocks, so it kind of came out a little bit different, but look how fun. Someone's gonna have a great time. Be so surprised to find that. And then we did our Slancha Good Health 4-leaf clover. This is my original that I did, much better than the one I did today, but just give it a try and go practice. This one, if you hold it back farther, it looks better. But just have fun doing that. And then finally, we did the cute little daisies and dragonfly. And look, that was so simple. It was just painting the background, let it dry, do the next layer, let it dry, and then using a paint pen to draw in that grass. You could use a paintbrush and paint actual leaves or the stems of the flowers. That's fine too. This is another version of that I did using the actual paints in your kit. So, except for the orange. Did I use the orange? Not sure. Can't remember. But that's kind of what the paint looks like from your kit. Which looks cute. It looks like a watercolor. Okay, again, trace, polka dots, have fun. Just dot it up, go crazy, have a good time. Visit us at the library. We love you at the library. We miss you. We hope that this is an inspirational activity for you, gives you something to do, and think about different arts and crafts activities. We've got lots of books to check out at the library, www.pslibrary.org, or give us a call, 760-322-7323, and we'd be happy to help you find whatever you're looking for and answer any questions that you might have. So have a great day. Happy March. We hope that spring treats you well. Stay safe, wear a mask, and we'll see you on the flip side. Thanks. Bye.